Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
Hello, my name is Jason Lowry.
And I'm Mark Totally.
And this is the Christmas edition of the Parkland Podcast.
Ho, ho, ho.
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas to you. This is the Christmas edition of the Parkland Podcast. This is episode 29 and our last full episode of the year.
Yeah, we're going to do a best of next week, which I'm kind of excited about. Look back at all the guests that we've had over the last 6 months, and I'll bet you in 29 episodes, we've probably interviewed close to 100 people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Some twice, some 3 times. Did we have a fourth, somebody who's been on the podcast 4 times?
Let's see, Chris Landrum might be the only one, or Suzanne Baker.
Right.
Those are the 2 that really stand out to me.
Yeah, they're both pretty good interviews. We have some good ones today as well. We're going to be talking about the Central Christmas Tournament, the biggest tradition in between Christmas and New Year's in the Parkland. Central Athletic Director Jon Petty will join us here at the barn to talk about what's happening the week between Christmas and New Year's at Central High School. We're also going to put a big bow on Shop with a Cop. Mark Totally was there, had a chance to visit with Lora Henson, the organizer of the event.
And Sheriff Dan.
Yeah, Sheriff Dan Bullock, his last Shop with a Cop. Although I'm sure if he wants to show up next year, they will totally let him.
He's going to help out with that. He's already
Awesome.
told Laura that he would do that for sure.
That's great. And we'll get a special Christmas story from Mary Lee from Earth
Yes.
Mother Health Foods on this final episode of the year. Let's thank our sponsors, Parkland Pharmacy. We appreciate you. Wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Discover Farmington. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Discover Farmington. Save a lot of the Parkland. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. Heimberger Construction. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Hi, Jenny.
Earth Mother Health Foods. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. Booze and Bark Carpet. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you. And Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you. What'd you do this week, Mark Totally?
A lot of bell ringing for the United Way of St. Francis County. It's been such an awesome year for bell ringing. Thanks to all our ringers. Thanks to Suzanne for doing a great job organizing things. I do want to send a couple of shout outs, though.
Please do.
Because I go to Deloge and help Suzanne pick up the money on Mondays and Fridays. And I always stop by the Big Door Coffee House and pick up some coffee or some hot chocolate and some blueberry pound cake from Jason and Amy Welker. So good. So good. You guys do awesome work. Stop by their business anytime. It's more than just a coffee shop. It's a mission for them. And it's located down from the Deloge Chamber of Commerce office.
On beautiful Lincoln Street.
Yeah, Lincoln Street Drive, yes. Also want to send a shout out to Steve and Ursula Warren, faithful listeners of the podcast. They I was at the senior center on Friday. We had our Christmas dinner for the folks that come to the senior center, and they had all kinds of good food. Whitney, you and your crew do a great job putting that together, but they gave me a summer sausage as a Christmas gift, which I really appreciated. And I also need to give a shout out to my good buddy, my lifelong buddy, Vince Bresnahan. I've known him since I was 13 years old. We went to school together. He texts me every Sunday or Monday or whenever the Chiefs play, and he'll text me at 5 in the morning and saying, "Go Chiefs, protect the kingdom." He's a big Chiefs fan. And he woke me up this morning at like 5:45.
Yeah?
I'd already been up and about, but I was taking a little power nap at 5:45, and he texted me and says, "Chiefs Kingdom, protect the kingdom." So, Vince, you're the man. You are the man.
Now, you're selling yourself short because you also received a really nice honor this past week. Tell us about that.
Oh, it was very nice. The Ambassador of the Year award from the Farmington Regional Chamber of Commerce. To the ladies at the chamber, there's a lot of people deserve that just as much, if not more than me. So I thank you that you thought of me. It was very, very nice, but I don't know.
You do a lot for the Farmington Regional Chamber, man. So
it's a good group. They do a lot of work for the community.
Sure, absolutely. And you're just a cog in the wheel, right?
I'm just a spoke on the bicycle tire.
Yeah. Well, and thank you. Merry Christmas to Spokes too.
Yeah, definitely.
Slide that in there for Chris and Dina.
Saw Chris and Dina over the weekend, as a matter of fact. I've known Dina a little longer than I've known Chris. Absolutely love that gal. Chris is an A-OK dude, too, though.
You approve?
I definitely approve.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go, Dina. I know that's what.
And
you
their
were
daughter,
waiting
Miss
for.
Ella. Now, Dina has 3 daughters, but her and Chris have a daughter named Ella. And every time I see her, I give her $1 because she waited on me a couple of times, got me a water when I went to Spokes, and she did it a second time, so I keep tipping her. So now every time I see her, I tip her $1. So.
Wow, that'll continue the rest of her life, I guess.
It'll as long as the podcast keeps going. That's coming out of my podcast money.
Well, the last week of school is always a crazy week. Going around trying to get everything done. We had finals. The kids had their Christmas concert. A few more basketball games to go to. The Nutcracker. And now I'm looking around going, wow, I don't have to do 50 million things. What do I do now? What do I do now? What do I do now? So hopefully the brain will relax a little bit, but got some really nice teacher gifts.
Good deal.
From students this week, and that's always nice. And
I didn't know you were supposed to do that. I never did that.
You never did that?
No.
I did the apples, and I remember elementary school. I remember giving presents, but not the high school teachers. I never did.
I was just happy and lucky and grateful that they passed me.
Maybe your mom was giving them presents on your behalf.
Be.
Yeah,
that could be.
I know he's not much, but thanks.
Please, you don't want him around for another year.
Man, oh man, yeah, that's the thing. That is definitely motivation for teachers. Let's go ahead and get him out of here. Get him graduated.
Get rid of this guy.
Got any music trivia? Anything musically you want to talk about?
I do. I got some good trivia for us. I just need to find it on my... Oh, no, not music trivia this time. Got some movie trivia for you.
Okay. Great.
All right. These are actors who turned down roles.
These are good.
In famous movies.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The role of Forrest Gump was originally offered to...
John Travolta.
John Travolta. Very good. Yes. Very good.
Would have been completely different.
The role of Jack Torrance in The Shining was originally offered to...
Marlon Brando?
Robin Williams.
Oh, my gosh.
Wouldn't he have kicked that one into a new direction?
Whoa.
Huh? Han Solo, originally offered to Al Pacino. Hoo-wah!
Wookie.
The movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze. That role originally offered to
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yeah. Yes. You must have heard that.
Yeah, I knew that one.
And Michael Corleone, The Godfather, that was originally offered to Jack Nicholson.
Ooh.
And one more, two more real quick. Sister Act with Whoopi.
Yeah?
Originally offered to Bette Midler.
Huh.
And the movie Titanic.
Yes.
Yeah, without those two were so great in that movie, but that was originally offered to Matthew McConaughey and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Huh.
So there you go. And they all
Yeah.
turned them down for various reasons.
Right. Well, I'm sure Matthew McConaughey wanted to be shirtless in Titanic, and they figured they didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
so
that could be. That could be.
That was probably it. I always make the joke. I use like a shot when I'm explaining, kind of different shot types in movies. And the medium shot is the shot of Leonardo DiCaprio and oh my gosh, what's
Kate
her
Winslet.
name? Kate Winslet, great actress. Like when they're on the front of the boat at the
Yes.
Titanic, that's like the two shot. And I always make the joke. That's the last time Leonardo DiCaprio was with somebody his own age.
This is true. This
Yeah,
is true.
yeah.
But he's no Bill Belichick.
That's true. Bill Belichick has his girlfriends in college, right? Is that what the real reason why he's going to North Carolina?
It could be so they could go to school together.
So yeah, she can make it to class on time.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have a totally awesome radio story? Is there anybody we want to rip on?
No, I could rip on
Oh yeah,
our good buddy Scott Kabbalah all the time. I do remember the time Scott was doing color commentary on a baseball game. Actually, we sent him out to do an update game.
yeah.
Which, for those of you not totally familiar with radio, we would have like a main play-by-play game, and then somebody else would go out and they would do updates from games. We sent Scott to do an update from a baseball game in Bismarck. We said, what kind of damage could he do there, right?
Oh no.
Well, we sent it to him, and let's just say Scott wasn't quite ready for it to be sent to him.
Oh no.
So we sent it out to him, and all we hear was, "Boy, look at that farmer over there in the field with those cows." It is so hot out here. I wouldn't want to be that farmer. And then we're like, well, Scott, thank you for that insightful commentary there and that great update from Bismarck.
Yeah.
But I do want to send a shout out to somebody. I don't know his name. I was ringing the bell Tuesday for the United Way of St. Francis County, and some guy comes up to me, gives us a couple dollars, and then he went in and shopped, and he came back out, and he goes, "You're Mark Totally, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You do good things in the community, don't you?" And he said, "Yeah." And he took off this hat here that I'm wearing, and he gave it to me, and he says, "Here."
Wow.
So I've heard of giving the shirt off your back, but this guy gave me the hat off his head.
Wow.
So whoever you are, mister, thank you so much. I love this hat.
Cool. What was working in radio like on Christmas? I know back in the day before automation, you had to be there on Christmas Day. They'd usually like kind of condense your shifts. How did that usually go?
It kind of evolved over the years. It used to be 8-hour days.
Yeah.
And then it turned into 4-hour days. And then when Chad Speaker came around, he got it to where we could get this Kix Brooks 24-hour Christmas thing. So for the last several years, none of us had to work. Oh, hey, I do got to give a shout out to our good friend Griffin Weinberg.
Hey, Griffin.
Griff got a job in TV. He's going to be working in the Upper Peninsula.
Oh.
And
He's
he's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
There's guys that come and go in radio, and you don't miss them. You don't think twice after they're gone. He was one that I would have worked with for the rest of my career. He's going to WLUC, and he'll be learning that, or starting that job in February. I say congratulations and enjoy those warm, mild winters that you're.
Yeah. You might as well be in Canada there. I guess you're probably better suited to be in Canada.
Well, let's just say he's not going to see his front yard until about April. But, if there's ever a guy that deserves a good break and a good career, it's him. So, Griff, congratulations.
Way to go, Griffin. I'm trying to think what we would do at KFMO B104. Oh, the Christmas Beacon. Very similar to the Ronnie Brooks thing, or the Kix Brooks thing. And we would let the guy roll. But, I still had to go in and update the weather line. 431-5588.
Oh, we did Santa Radar too.
Oh, yeah, the Santa Radar reports.
Yeah, one year I was in Buffalo, New York. I was in Kansas City, and I was on Interstate 270 south of St. Louis. All in the same night. It's the magic of Christmas.
You were just like Santa Claus that night. Yes, Santa's radar reports. I remember as a kid getting really into those and like paying attention to them. And then as an adult, I'm like, God, who even listens to this?
People do. It's crazy, yes.
They do, absolutely. They love it.
Yeah, Santa and I had a lot in common because that was back in the day when I would have a beer or two, and I used to have rosy red cheeks and a red nose too, but for totally different reasons than Santa.
And that is a Totally awesome radio story. Booz and Bark Carpet, Booz and Bark Trailer Sales, Highway 67 between Park Hills and Farmington. Some people call it the Fairgrounds exit. I call it the Booz and Bark exit because that's where you get off the highway to go see the fine folks, Brock and everybody at Booz and Bark. Been at it for such a long time, and there are so many long-tenured employees that work for Booz and Bark.
And they sell everywhere. Oh my gosh, they are a great part of St. Francis County, but they have customers 100 miles plus in any direction.
Yeah, I know they do a lot in the Columbia area as well.
Yes. And don't forget about their trailers too. If you're in the mood for a trailer. But you're getting the Booz and Bark name, and they've been doing this for decades now. So you're dealing with one of the premier flooring companies in the area.
Two things I've never heard anybody like say they regret doing. That's upgrading your flooring in your home or getting a trailer. I've never heard anybody say they regret either one of those purchases.
And they've got a lot to choose from. If selection is the name of the game with you, the Booz and Barks are the folks you need to go see.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from everybody at Booz and Bark Carpet and Trailer Sales, Highway 67 between Park Hills and Farmington.
And look for our pictures on their billboard.
I know the folks at Heimberger Construction want to wish their employees the best this holiday season. They want to wish their former customers, their current customers, and their future customers the best this holiday season. Heimberger Construction cares about the work they do, and they care about the people that they do it with and they do it for.
And we talk all the time about all the different buildings they're involved in, but let's talk community involvement. They were a huge sponsor of Festival of Trees for Casa of the Parkland. They help out in the past with a number of different things like United Way of St. Francis County, St. Paul Lutheran School, the big John Thomas benefit. They have been a big supporter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Jennifer knows that her company has been very successful because of the quality work they do, but she likes to give back to the community as well. She understands that she's been blessed and she wants to help people out whenever she can.
They were also a big sponsor for Help the Hungry Bake Sale as well.
Absolutely.
So Heimberger Construction, and what really sets them apart is the work they do with Butler Buildings. They are the best metal building system on the market and the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. You keep things nice and dry up top with those Butler Buildings, and that just makes the project not only look better, but last longer. And that's what you get at Heimberger Construction. Happy holidays to you from them, 431-4387, HeimbergerConstruction.com.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
This is news on the Parkland podcast, and there's been a change in the race for the mayor of Farmington. Current mayor Larry Forsythe has withdrawn from the race. leaving former Mayor Mitt Landrum and current Councilman Chris Morrison as the only candidates for the Farmington mayoral position at this time. The deadline to run for municipal positions in St. Francis County's April election is December 31st.
Some good news to report. It's the season to help each other, and we're doing that in this area in a lot of different ways, and you can do it no matter how old you are. 92-year-old Dorothy Lee of Bonne Terre, better known as the Christmas Tree Lady, continues to collect donations of toys and supplies for the elderly, and especially those in nursing homes. Some of her biggest supporters include the Farmington Correctional Center, Horton Wampler Funeral Home, and Belgrade State Bank.
The Farmington Regional Chamber of Commerce recently recognized Jackson's Journey Foundation at their monthly meeting on Thursday. That's an organization that collects toys and monetary donations for children currently going through cancer treatment.
They had a toy drive at the chamber meeting, and a full chest of drawers full of toys was collected for the organization. The United Way of St. Francis County will wrap up its bell-ringing drive this week. A special shout-out to all those who volunteered to ring the bell, especially the Farmington and North County School District, who literally donated hundreds of hours to bell ringing. We hope to have final numbers for next week's podcast.
And another holiday event took place this week as the annual St. Francis County Shop with a Cop took place Tuesday at Farmington Walmart. Mark Totally, this guy right here, caught up with Lora Henson, one of the organizers of the event.
Lora Henson joins us now. She was one of the people who helped to organize this year's Shop with a Cop program for St. Francis County. And once again, Laura, what a tremendous turnout.
This is an amazing turnout, and this is the day we've been working for all year. So this is exciting.
Literally hundreds of children will get a better Christmas because of what you're doing.
That is correct. So far, the count I had this morning, so that could go up still, was 586 kids. So I look forward to, before it's said and done, after next Thursday, it'll probably be over 600.
For folks that are new to Shop with a Cop, what is it all about? How does it work?
Our Shop with a Cop program, we work all year collecting funds from our local businesses, our citizens, collecting money to take these kids shopping. These kids may not have a Christmas if it wasn't for our program, or it could also be an instance that they're getting that one-on-one with law enforcement, emergency personnel, the firefighters. They're getting that one-on-one report so they know that they can get a hold of them if there's ever an emergency, and they're not so scared if that does happen.
Yeah, law enforcement doesn't just raise the money all year round. They're here today, and they're going to go shopping with the kids.
They are, and that is so fun to watch because they actually get to relax just for a little bit and be a kid with the kids. So that is always fun to see.
And one of the neat things about this, and I've seen it happen, some of these kiddos will go out and they can spend the money on whatever they want, but a lot of times they buy gifts for mom and dad, their brothers, sisters.
They do, and that is nice to see, and it's also really neat to see whenever you have siblings and they want to buy for each other, but they don't want each other to know what it is. So these kids, they've got hearts of gold, and that's what we want because they're eventually going to be the biggest part of our community whenever the years go by.
It's a lot of hard work. It can be pretty stressful, but a day like this, it all works out and it makes it all worthwhile.
Yes, it does. This makes it all so much worthwhile. You get kind of down whenever it comes to the end of the year because you put a lot of work into it and it gets stressful, but then the day gets here and you're like, this is what this was for.
Now, there's going to be a changing of the guard at the end of the year. That means Sheriff Dan Bullock, this will be his last Shop with a Cop as sheriff. It's kind of sad, isn't it?
It is sad. He's been my only boss that I've ever had since I started almost 18 years ago. But he's still going to be around, and he told me he'd help me with Shop with a Cop. I've spoke with the new sheriff that's coming in, Jeff Kreitz, and asked him about our program, and he's all for us keeping it as well.
Yeah, Jeff knows that this is a great program.
Yes, he does, because he's been around in our community for years as well. So he knows what this program is, and he knows what it means to the community, and we've got his backing 100%.
And Laura, I know we can't wrap this interview up without saying thank you to Walmart.
Yes, Walmart does a phenomenal job. We got here as soon as they opened, and they already had a lot of their stuff already set up and ready to go. They had our registers ready. We didn't really have to do anything once we got here, and without them, this wouldn't be possible either, because they actually work around us for this morning.
Now, this is a program that has gathered attention not just locally and regionally, this gathers attention from across the Midwest, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And I have people from other states, all across the whole United States, wanting to know how to start theirs up and what they need to do to get theirs going. And I love that, because without our law enforcement getting interaction with these kids nowadays, they're going to be terrified if they really need them. This gives them that rapport. This is telling them what it's like if they need them, that they're normal humans, just like they are. And whenever you go to other states and you tell them how to do theirs and explain to them, that makes them have a better initiative in getting theirs started as well.
Going to be a lot of smiles this morning, maybe a few tears?
Yes, I think so. A lot of it, we're excited that this is going to be our Shop with a Cop big day, but we're also sad because this is going to be our sheriff's last one as sheriff to do. And that's really sad because I've never done one without him.
So Laura, for people watching the podcast and really hearing about Shop with a Cop for the first time, saying, I want to be a part of this next year, when do you start raising funds and getting together donations for next year?
We start working on this as soon as this is over. Our funds that we have left over from now will roll over, but we've already started working on our next year's stuff, so it just never ends.
It's all about the kiddos, isn't it?
It's all about the kids.
You have done a fabulous job. You do a great job every year. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, Lora Henson joining us now. She is the organizer of this year's St. Francois County Shop with a Cop. Close to 600 children will be helped to have a better Christmas through this program.
Mark also had a chance to visit with St. Francois County Sheriff Dan Bullock.
Also alongside on the podcast is St. Francois County Sheriff Dan Bullock. And Sheriff, here it is, Shop with a Cop for another year. We've talked about this a lot over the years. It's the favorite thing you do all year round.
It's the best thing we do all year long, bar none.
This is a lot of work by a lot of people, but days like this make it all worthwhile.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of volunteer work. No one gets paid for doing this Shop with a Cop stuff, but you'll see officers and Laura start collecting money here today. As soon as this thing's over with, they'll start on next year. So it's a year-long operation. Takes a lot of work and a lot of time, but if you look around here today, you'll see it's well worth it.
Who's smiling more, the kiddos that are getting to go shop, or are the officers that are helping them?
Well, the kids that are with the midnight shift officers who are still awake and trying to stay awake, but the day shift and evening shift officers, they're smiling bigger than the kids, I think.
This means a lot to everybody involved, doesn't it?
It does. It just is a shame that there's such a big need here in the county. I mean, we're probably going to take over 600 kids shopping before this thing's through, but we're certainly glad that we can do that and we can make it available to them.
Is it kind of bittersweet for you knowing this will be your last Shop with a Cop as the sheriff?
As the sheriff, December 31st, I'm retired, but Laura's begging me to stay involved with the Shop with a Cop program, so we'll see what happens.
So what are you going to do come January 1st?
Well, I tell you what, it'll still be deer season for 15 days, and I'll be able to bow hunt and muzzleloader hunt for a few days, so I'll do that. I got 42 years worth of honeydews that I probably need to get done, so out there on that farm, I'll have plenty to do for a while.
Been a heck of a run, though, in law enforcement, right?
Yes, it's been 43 years total since I started to work as a deputy in St. Francois County, and a lot of changes. It's a whole new game now from what it was when I started.
Anything stand out in particular as a highlight? I guess the obvious one would be Shop with a Cop since we're here today, but does anything stand out for you?
Well, we have this, and we started the DARE program in all the schools here in the county, and that I think was a good thing. And the major case squad, the Middle Area Drug Task Force, the police academy at Mac College, just many different things that we've started throughout the years here. The 911 center, state-of-the-art 911 center. People come from all surrounding states to see it because it's such an upgraded thing over there at 911.
Sheriff, you've been the sheriff for over 30 years. I've interviewed you for over 30 years. I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you for always being so gracious and willing to help us out, whether it's been through the podcast or the radio station. You've done a fantastic job.
I appreciate that, and I know that you've always been available. We need to put information out. You've always been good to get it out to the public, helped us out, solve a lot of crimes over the years.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you.
All right, St. Francis County Sheriff Dan Bullock on the Parkland podcast.
And again, Shop with a Cop, another successful year mark, and a $5,000 donation made at the event as well.
Just a great day. If you've never been, you need to go. But not everyone was in the Christmas spirit, as vandals did extensive damage to holiday displays in Deloge City Park and Columbia Park in Park Hills. Both cities were able to restore most of the displays, but thousands of dollars of damages were done.
And that's a check of your news on this Christmas episode of the Parkland Podcast. Let's talk about events now. Events are presented by Discover Farmington, more than you ever imagined. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.gov allows you to find out more about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.gov, the go-to website to keep up with the Parkland.
Before we get started, a huge shout out to Kristen White. She has been an amazing help to us with the Parkland Podcast. So thank you, Kristen. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and New Year's.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
There is going to be a free Christmas Day dinner at CC's Pizza in Farmington. That's coming up this Wednesday. They're supposed to start at 2, but don't be surprised if they start a little early.
And do they still need help with that event, you think?
I'm sure if you want to show up, they'll find something for you to do.
Yeah, they'll find something. Maybe Debbie will put them on dumpster duty.
Yeah, instead of Debbie. She can keep out of the dumpster this year.
New Year's Eve celebrations. There's Jammin' New Year's Eve party happening at Spokes Pub and Grill.
Rolling good time.
With music by St. Louis's The Jam Station.
They're good. New Year's Eve at Chalmette Vineyards and Winery. 4-course menu. Call 747-1000 to get a reservation.
And New Year's Eve glow party happening at Four Towns Brewery. That's in downtown Park Hills. Free admission, live music from Audio Glow, and you can capture the moment with neon-themed photo stations and all kinds of great ways to celebrate the new year.
There's a New Year's Day benefit workout for Eloise Good Vibes Fit Factory in Bonne Terre. That's coming up on January 1st at 10.
Also on January 1st, the first day hike at St. Francis State Park starts at 10 a.m. It's free and open to everybody.
And I'm sure there's a number of other state parks. I know they usually do one at Hawn State Park and a couple in Iron County as well. They're all over the state, so definitely take advantage of those. Let's see. Cornhole tournament at Twin Oaks Vineyard and Winery. Registration $50 per team. Proceeds benefit a mission trip to Belize.
And that's on January the 18th. And then February the 8th, the Punches family will be at Mineral Area College. You can purchase your tickets through mineralareaarts.org.
And as we wrap up events, a big thank you to everybody who rang the bell for the United Way of St. Francis County. We're hoping on next week's episode of the podcast, we'll have those final numbers for you.
Oh, and I'll get in trouble if I don't mention the St. Joseph Catholic School Trivia Night. That is happening on Saturday, January 25th. See if you can beat my team, the, I think, 6-time defending champions.
Ooh.
Just saying. Get your team together Saturday, January the 25th at St. Joseph Catholic School Gymnasium in Farmington. That is your events page, and that's presented by Discover Farmington, more than you ever imagined. Find out about local events, even book a wedding or day trip at discoverfarmingtonmo.com. Let's talk Save a Lot of the Parkland. If you are putting together a Christmas dinner, Save a Lot is the best place to go. I know, Mark, about 95% of what I served for Thanksgiving came from Save a Lot. I had an amazing Oreo dirt cake that I made.
Oh.
I have to make 2 of them for Christmas because I made one on Thanksgiving. Half of it got eaten at one spot, the other half at the other. And I know that I can not only afford to get that Oreo dirt cake, but some other great items too, because I shop the dot at Save a Lot.
I'll tell you what, the thing I like about Save a Lot is it's one-stop shopping.
Mm-hmm.
You need produce, they've
Yeah.
got it. You need milk, they've got it. You need meats, they've got it. You need dinner rolls, and trust me, you need dinner rolls if you're going to a Christmas party and you can't
Yes.
cook. They're going to say, oh, you can bring rolls. And they've got a ton of those at Save a Lot. Love the customer service at Save a Lot. Love the selection. Love the pricing.
Love the holiday custard from Prairie Farms. Only place I've found it locally is your local Save a Lot store. And boy, that makes some yummy Christmassy drinks.
Clint, you're a good man, and thank you for all you do in the community as well. And Chastity, it's great to work with you as well.
So when you're ready for your holiday meals, shop the dot. Shop Save a Lot of the Parkland in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. Earth Mother Health Foods, earthmotherhealthfoods.com. Talk to Mary Lee. Beautiful building on Harrison Street. Coming up on, I guess, 33 years now of service to the community, right?
Love going to Earth Mother Health Foods. I drank, as we recorded this podcast, a cup of tea here. It's a peppermint spearmint mix. Miss Melanie at Earth Mother Health Foods helped me put that together. And while I was there, they have every kind of vitamin supplement that you could need for whatever is ailing you. But they also have really good treats that are on the healthy side as well. You could literally spend a couple of hours at Earth Mother Health Foods. It's almost like a little library because Mary Lee loves her history, especially American Indian history. And she will actually, if she's there, she'll show you around. And she's got some things that that will just amaze you there. So Earth Mother Health Foods, not only a great place to pick up your vitamins and your supplements and your foods and your shampoos and soaps and things like that. It's just a great place to go in and hang out.
And the most friendly and knowledgeable staff
They're
around.
great.
Earth Mother Health Foods, earthmotherhealthfoods.com. Go see them today on Harrison Street in Farmington. Time to do some birthdays here on the Parkland Podcast. These are the Christmas week babies, and we start with Monday, December 23rd.
Happy birthday to Nancy Sullivan, married to Al Sullivan. She is one of the main folks involved with the Help the Hungry Bake Sale and Auction. This girl can flat out bake a cake, cook a pie. She is a fabulous cook and a better person. So, Nancy, happy birthday to you from all of your family. Also, happy birthday to Deshay Tate. That's from your mom and your dad. She's wonderful. Just had a little baby. So
right.
Congratulations to you. Engaged to be married. And there's a story one day I'll tell on the podcast about her and a traffic ticket, but not for today.
It's your birthday. We're letting you off.
That's right. And last but not least, my buddy Bill Giesing.
Yeah.
Bill, happy birthday to you. I saw him this past Friday. He was out at Spokes Pub and Grill with Greg Beavers, and they were enjoying a conversation. And I kind of butted in and had a conversation with him for about 10 minutes. Great guy. Great guy. Happy birthday to you from your wife and all your kids and family, Bill. You're a good man.
Happy birthday to Lindsay Eves, Mrs. Eves at Farmington High School. Great in a pinch to do just about anything. She's kind of like the Jose Oquendo of Farmington High School. She's helping out in all kinds of different areas, keeping Derek.
That's
okay.
full-time
Yeah,
job.
that's full-time job, and the boys. And
they got
Lindsay,
3, don't they?
Yeah. And thank you, Lindsay, for helping with Lucy's makeup during Nutcracker, too. That was a big help. And happy birthday to you. And Jason Keller, a Bonne Terre legend.
All right.
Jason and I graduated together. We were like 2 of about 25 Jasons in my class. 1994 at North County. Happy birthday, JK. Hope it's a great day for you. How about Tuesday, Christmas Eve, December 24th?
Just one birthday to pass along. My good friend Kim Birch celebrates a birthday. I don't get to see her very often. Used to see her quite a bit. That's from your husband, Jeremy. She has twin girls. Happy birthday to you, Kim. I hope you have a wonderful day and a very Merry Christmas.
What about birthdays on Christmas Day?
Christmas Day, and I was told I better do this one right. Julie Estes celebrates a birthday on Christmas Day. She works at the Farmington Regional Chamber of Commerce, and she's wonderful. She was one of the folks that helped give me my award at the last chamber meeting, so thank you to that. She does a lot of good work with small businesses and just an awesome girl. Happy birthday to you from your husband, from your son, from your daughter, Lily, who is pretty awesome as well, and all of your family, your chamber folks as well. And my buddy Scott Uyghur celebrating a birthday as well. Happy birthday to you, Scott, from your son and from all your family.
I got a Christmas Day birthday to wish to my next door neighbor, Carmen Mayberry. Carmen is like the kids' bonus grandma. She is so cool and so handy. I think either Jonas or James was just born, so we had newborn at home, and forgot to pay the water bill, and so the city guy shows up and starts to pull the manhole cover off and get in there and shut off our water. Carmen notices this, runs out, tells the dude, I'm going to go down to City Hall and write a check for them so you don't have to shut their water off. They got a baby at home. And the guy's like, oh, okay. And he, kind of got back in the truck and he goes, I'll come by, check it after lunch. And she went down, paid our water bill for us so we wouldn't get our water turned off.
Nice.
She is fantastic. Happy birthday, Carmen. Also loves the podcast, too. We love you and hope it's a great day. And Joe Mann, classmate of mine at North County, class of 94, my first friend when I was a little kid because his mom, Joni, and my mom were running around buddies, and I remember Joe and Brian Mann, Ruba. Happy birthday to you, Joe. Hope it's a great day. Thursday, December 26th.
Real quick on Wednesday, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it's Doug Ross's birthday. Former dentist in the area, former mayor of Farmington. Did want to wish him a happy birthday just in case. If it's not really your birthday, Doug, just how you doing?
Just roll with it.
Yeah. Just go with it. All right, Thursday, Patty Smith celebrates a birthday on Thursday. She's married to Dennis, a longtime Farmington City Councilman. Mm-hmm. Patty, happy birthday to you. I hope you're doing great. Yeah. That's from all of your family. Dina Ward, who now is doing great things with the Boy Scouts of America. She's working for them, worked at the Chamber for a bunch of years. Happy birthday to you, Dina, from all your kids. Richard Deason, a lean, mean real estate machine. Happy birthday wishes to you. Brandy Pratt celebrates a birthday. Her son was a really good golfer and athlete at West County.
Chris Pratt?
I can't remember his name now, but
that's the actor, sorry.
Oh, okay. Her daughter was part of, what's the group that went on America's Got Talent?
Innovative Force.
Yeah, her daughter was on Innovative Force. So, Brandy, you come from a talented family, and I hope you have a great, great birthday. And Amanda Jones. I've known Amanda since she was about 5 years old. Now she's married. She's got kids and still just a real nice gal. Lives in, I think, Arkansas. But happy birthday to you, Amanda.
Happy birthdays for me on Thursday. Jamie Thurston, pride of Farmington. Jamie making big deals in the fashion industry. I see his Facebook pictures where he's going to all these different conventions and doing real well. Happy birthday, Jamie. Hope it's a great day for you. Sarah Wilkins, used to work with her at the Unitech Career Center back when she was briefly a nursing instructor. And now her daughter, Clara, tells me that she works 5 hours a week from home and makes the same amount of money. So congratulations
Good work.
to her. Yeah. Way to go. Happy birthday, Sarah. Hope it's a great one. Chris Grimminger, longtime alderman, police officer, Department of Corrections in the city of Deloge. Happy birthday to you, Chris. And Amanda Leftridge from Terre de Lac. Happy birthday, Amanda. Hope your day is awesome. Friday, December 27th. Who you got?
Friday, got to say happy birthday to the lovely and talented Tanner Lynn, former homecoming queen at Farmington High School, going back about 10 years. Now she's a school teacher, and she may be one of the sweetest gals you will ever meet.
Must be elementary.
Elementary, my dear. Tanner, she's just awesome.
All the sweet ones are at elementary.
Yeah, that's because the kids give you more hugs there.
That's true.
Tanner, you're awesome. That's from your mom and your dad and from your sister and all your family. I hope you have a great day. Rochelle Ankrum celebrating a birthday. I work with her at the food pantry in Farmington. She helps to volunteer there, and I do. And we see each other once or twice a month, and she is just an awesome gal. And she likes the podcast, so that makes me like her even more.
Yeah.
Linda Miller, happy birthday to you from all of your family. Richard Tripp, one of the first guys I got to know when I moved to Farmington, and I moved into Harlan Estates Apartments. He was in the apartment next to mine. So Richard, from all your brothers, happy birthday wishes to you. Cindy Hayfline went to St. Paul Lutheran Church for a bunch of years, moved to Wisconsin. Why you'd want to live in Wisconsin in the winter, I don't know, but Cindy's a really, really nice lady. So happy birthday wishes to you. And last but certainly not least, Judy Ramsey, married to Mike Ramsey. And somehow, despite the fact that she's been married to Mike for at least 40 years, maybe close to 40 years, she still looks much, 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 much younger than Mike. Happy birthday to the gal who is married to a guy who looks just like Stephen King.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? and it's crazy too. Like they're like aging the same way too. He just needs to grow out the beard a little bit. Old Rammer, happy birthday, Judy. It's your birthday every day being married to Mike. I have a couple birthdays for Friday as well. Matthew Booyer, he is the vocal music teacher at Central High School, does a great job with that program. I think he got a couple All-Staters again this year. So happy birthday to you, Matthew. Enjoy these next couple weeks, buddy. You deserve it. Trisha Wilkerson with a birthday.
Yeah.
Trisha is an Instagram star, and her and her husband very active with lots of businesses in the north end of the county. Happy birthday, Trisha. Hope it's a great day for you. And Paula David with a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday, Paula, from all the David family, for everybody out there on the farm. Happy birthday, Paula. Hope it's a great day. Saturday, December 28th.
Saturday birthdays. I saw this gal this past Friday, as a matter of fact. Tatum Legan, graduate of St. Paul High School, I should say. And she just graduated from Missouri State University. So
Great.
Congratulations to you, Tatum. Now she's facing the real world. I don't think she's ready for that, but she's going to have to do it one way or the other. Tatum, happy birthday from your mom and dad, Tommy Legan and Kelly Legan, your sister and all your family. Our good buddy, Josh Harris at Midwest Sports Center. Josh gives his time and his talents to a lot of different things, and he is one heck of a good guy. Josh,
Absolutely.
Hope you're doing great. That's from your boys and all your family and everybody at Midwest Sports Center. Amy Kearney, happy birthday to you. She just sent me a text not too long ago saying she heard the podcast for the first time and really liked it. So thank you for that.
Awesome.
Happy birthday wishes to you. Dawn Schwent, happy birthday to you. I used to serve on the board of the Family Violence Council with Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
And we
okay.
still keep up. She's a good girl. Lives in the Fredericktown area, I believe. Happy birthday to you, Dawn. And Alice Vota Schott. She went to school with me and she has aged a whole lot better than me. I have an old video somewhere of me in high school. We put on a play, and the guy that directed it, I think, must have had a little crush on Alice. Because she was featured in about 90% of the shots, and I was in about 10%.
Yeah.
But looking back and seeing her now, I can understand why he had the crush on her. So, Alice, happy birthday to you.
I just have one on Saturday. Sarah Wadlow. Happy birthday, Sarah. Hope it's a great birthday for you coming up. And then Sunday, December 29th, as we close out the week. Who you got?
Well, speaking of people I went to school with, Jill Bevan. Happy birthday wishes to you. She's married to my buddy Matt Bevan, who actually graduated in my class. So, Jill, I hope you have a fantastic birthday week. Becky Sutton Miller. Becky Miller worked at J98 Radio for 4 or 5 years. She was the office manager. Happy birthday to you, Becky. I hope you're doing fantastic. Sarah Van Zee, happy birthday to you from your husband, Brad, and all of your family. She's a school teacher, or was an art teacher at North County.
I think she retired, I believe, like maybe a year or two ago.
Could be. She's awful young to have done that, but
Maybe.
she may have taken the early route out. But happy birthday to you either way, Sarah.
Yeah.
Mary McIntyre, longtime employee at U.S. Bank and now living the good life. Happy birthday wishes to you. And my good buddy, Jason Street Eye Care.
Yeah.
They're in Farmington. Happy birthday to you, buddy, from your wife and your son and all of your family. His dad, Ed Street, was a longtime basketball coach at Farmington High School.
I see his picture in his 1970s suit every day on there's like the Hall of Fame wall at Farmington High School that's right outside my classroom. So I look at Ed every day, and his grandson, Grayson, was in my class last year, member of the basketball team, and he's a first-class kid.
Your dad always looked to me like he could have been a Marine sergeant, drill sergeant, just as easy as a basketball coach.
I just have 2 birthdays for Sunday the 29th. Olivia Sullivan, she's a sophomore at Farmington High School in the BKTV program, doing some awesome work. Happy birthday, Olivia. Hope it's a great day for you. I guess 16, so go get that license. Jason Thomas used to work with Jason and I go way back. We were in a rock band together in high school.
Rock.
And then Jason was the news director for a while at KFMO, I think right before Ramsey came back into the fold and did a nice job there. Jason, happy birthday to you, buddy. Hope it's a great birthday Sunday. And those are your birthdays on the Parkland Podcast. Ain't no party like a Parkland Pharmacy Christmas party, because a Parkland Pharmacy Christmas party don't stop. Boy, that just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it, Mark Toady?
They know how to have fun at Parkland Pharmacy. I've got to give the folks at Parkland Pharmacy a shout out because I've got my flu shot there and I got my latest COVID vaccination from the folks at Parkland Pharmacy. Didn't hurt a bit.
Never does. Never does. I had the honor of going to a couple of Parkland Pharmacy Christmas parties, and they take such good care of their employees. And I know we talk about it all the time, but I mean, I've seen it firsthand because you have these people that come to work every day for you, and they are always in a better mood because they know they're appreciated at Parkland Pharmacy, and that just, eventually comes down to you, the customer. So totally worth it to go there.
You can put a price tag on medication. You can put a price tag on medicine. You can put a price tag on a lot of things. Can't put a price tag on great customer service.
Parkland Pharmacy wants to wish all their employees and customers the happiest of holidays. Parkland Pharmacy in Deloge, Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, and Greenville, and they sponsor the Parkland Podcast. Discover Farmington helps us bring you events every week here on the Parkland Podcast. They are the sponsor of the events page, and we go to their website all the time to make sure we're promoting what's happening around the area. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.gov, all kinds of cool stuff. Mark, I've been taking my kids to Winter Wonderland since they've been old enough to hold their heads up. It is such a neat family tradition for our family. And what a great thing that Discover Farmington and the city of Farmington do every year.
Even if you don't have kids or your kids are all grown up and moved away, go to Winter Wonderland and just watch the magic of Christmas come alive, because that's exactly what it does. The amount of detail they put into Winter Wonderland is, in a word, amazing. I know that they're very excited. They had an ice carving demonstration this past weekend that went over really well.
And reindeer.
They brought in reindeer, and they're having carriage rides. They really do a lot to make Farmington and the surrounding area a destination point.
Winter Wonderland open weekdays 6 to 8 p.m., Saturdays from 1 to 3, and they're open all the way through December 23rd. You can find out about that. You can find out about other Christmassy themed activities and even events happening after Christmas at discoverfarmingtonmo.com. Discover Farmington, proud sponsor of the Parkland Podcast. Here's sports of the Parkland Podcast. Eric Krupe announced he was stepping down this week as Farmington's head football coach. 11 of his 12 seasons featured a winning record. He also won a district title in 2019. Dylan Wyrick is also out as head coach of the Potosi Trojans. Wyrick held the position for 5 seasons. This past year, the Trojans finished 3-7. Boys basketball from the week. Valley Catholic falls in the Border Wars shootout to New Athens. St. Genevieve also loses their game against Sparta, Illinois. Other finals from the week, Valley Catholic beats Fredericktown in overtime. Arcadia Valley also an overtime win over Saxony Lutheran. North County beats DeSoto. Meadow Heights a winner over Bismarck. Central wins 3 games during the week, beating St. Paul, DeSoto, and Jefferson. Potosi beats West County 55-49. It was Farmington a big win over Cape Central by 10, and Kingston beats Grandview. Girls basketball games from the week. Farmington a win over Oakville. Bismarck beats South Iron. Then they lose to Fredericktown. Fredericktown also a win over West County. Potosi wins a pair, beating Grandview and Lesterville. Arcadia Valley also a win over Lesterville. North County beats Saxony Lutheran. Kingston a win over Herculaneum. St. Genevieve beats Jefferson. Valley Catholic a win over Crystal City. Girls wrestling, St. Genevieve gets a win over Sullivan. North County defeats Kelly, then loses to Sykeston and ties New Madrid. St. Genevieve places 3rd in the Lady Mustangs Christmas Clash. And then Potosi and Central finish 4th and 7th, respectively, in the Cape Tiger Classic. Boys wrestling finals from the week at the Cape Tiger Classic. Potosi comes in 7th. North County comes in 4th at the Chaminade Tournament. Valley Catholic wins the Brentwood Tournament. And the Moberly Dual Tournament, St. Genevieve wins over Blair Oaks, St. James, Owensville, Westminster Christian, and Moberly. They also defeat Sullivan this week. And North County Wrestling picks up 3 wins over Kelly, Sykeston, and New Madrid. The seeds are set for the Central Christmas Tournament. Central got the top seed on the girls' side and Farmington on the boys' side. We will go over the brackets and how you can watch the tournament online coming up next with Central Athletic Director Jon Petty. And former St. Louis Cardinal MVP Paul Goldschmidt on the move. He signed a 1-year deal with the New York Yankees. That's your sports on the Parkland Podcast. Mark, Thanksgiving is over. Christmas is almost here, and maybe the first of the year might be a time for folks to think about a new profession. So no matter what you do, chances are there's a way for you to do it at Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. Mark, one of the largest employers in our area.
They are. They have a ton of folks that work for there. A great career move for anyone. They do a program every year at the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center where they seek the help from the public to buy gifts for their patients at the mental health center. Wow. And I am sure they would be willing to take your donations like they have in years past. So if you want to give them a call, I am sure they will tell you exactly what they need. Simple things like toiletries, stocking caps, gloves for their patients at the mental health center to help make their Christmas a better one as well.
Yeah, give them a call right now, 573-218-6800. And that's also where you can call if you're curious about maybe starting a new career with Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. We talk about some of the other places that advertise with the Parkland Podcast, how they have good relations with the employees working there for long periods of time. Same is true about Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. State of Missouri, an equal opportunity employer. We celebrate diversity and are committed to creating an inclusive environment for all employees. Earth Mother Health Foods, earthmotherhealthfoods.com. Talk to Mary Lee. Beautiful building on Harrison Street. Coming up on, I guess, 33 years now of service to the community, right?
Love going to Earth Mother Health Foods. I drank, as we recorded this podcast, a cup of tea here. It's a peppermint spearmint mix. Miss Melanie at Earth Mother Health Foods helped me put that together. And while I was there, they have every kind of vitamin supplement that you could need for whatever is ailing you. But they also have really good treats that are on the healthy side as well. You could literally spend a couple of hours at Earth Mother Health Foods. It's almost like a little library because Mary Lee loves her history, especially American Indian history. And she will actually, if she's there, she'll show you around. And she's got some things that will just amaze you there. So Earth Mother Health Foods, not only a great place to pick up your vitamins and your supplements and your foods and your shampoos and soaps and things like that. It's just a great place to go in and hang out.
And the most friendly and knowledgeable staff
They're
around.
great.
Earth Mother Health Foods, earthmotherhealthfoods.com. Go see them today on Harrison Street in Farmington. Let's get you ready for the Bob Sechrist Jr. Central Christmas Tournament with the man charged with administering all of that. That would be Mr. Jon Petty. He's the athletic director at Central High School. How are you, sir? Thanks so much for coming in.
Doing very well. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys having me on to do this.
How's your Christmas break so far? I know we're just literally minutes into it, but boy, it's nice, ain't it?
So far, so good. It'll go away the 26th.
I was going to say, it's really not much of a Christmas break for you, is it?
No, we get a little break afterwards this year, which is nice, just the way it falls. So always a good thing when you can do that.
So you've been the athletic director now for 2 years. This is your second Christmas tournament, but you were very heavily involved in the tournament previously. You've held many different roles. Kind of talk a little bit about your experiences working up until last year when it eventually became like your baby.
Absolutely. I worked for 20 years before becoming the AD at Central, and during that time, I'm not sure, I think it was all 20 Christmas tournaments.
Yeah.
Doing everything from keeping scorebooks to keeping the clock to just being a fan watching some of the games, but have been there for many a game. There was a couple years where Harvey Faircloth and I put in about 30-plus games sitting at that table. So I have a lot of experience with it. Chad Bradley is the former AD who I took over for after he retired a couple years ago, and he was always good to bring me along, and I'd try to help out wherever I could on the Christmas tournament front, seed meetings, things like that. So it wasn't a total shock when I come in, but still, whenever it's yours and you're on your own, it's a little bit different. So.
You know, when you think of basketball tournaments in this area, there's a lot of really, really good ones, but there's two that stand out, heads and tails, I think, above the others, and that's Arcadia Valley and that's Central.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Always loved the Thanksgiving tournament. We were actually involved in it there for a while.
Yeah.
Once football kind of started going the way that they're going, we struggled to have a team ready by that point, which was a blessing as well. But yes, I agree with you. Both those tournaments, and I think the teams involved obviously help with that, but also the crowds. It's not a playing in front of 50 people. You have a packed house, and it really helps the atmosphere and gets people excited and kids excited. They're happy to play in those games over the holiday breaks.
Now, before we get into the brackets, both the 16-team field for the boys and the 8-team field for the girls, I want to talk about the seed meeting. Now, since COVID hit, a lot of these seed meetings have gone to virtual, where you Skype in, or Skype. Nobody probably uses Skype anymore, but you use these programs to Zoom in, and everybody's on a computer screen. But that the Central Christmas Tournament, you guys still do this face to face, right?
Yes, sir. Still live. We did it this past Wednesday. Had the girls at 7 and then have the guys at 7:30. The girls is difficult, but the guys is worse. You know, you have 16 teams, and you have probably most of them have played 6 games.
Right.
So you're trying to seed a field and decipher between a 6 seed and a 9 seed whenever you've got 6 games in on the season. But I feel like they did a pretty good job of seeding it, and you know, we have some quality coaches around here that really help that process out.
So is it pretty cut and dry, or is there some pretty good give and take back and forth as you figure out who belongs where?
There are times when it's cut and dry. I would say this year was one of those with Farmington. Farmington was going to be the 1 seed. I think everyone knew that coming in on the boys' side. On the other hand, the girls' side, you had a little give and take. You had Central, who's the returning champion at 5-1, but you also have Potosi, who has a brand new coach, Coach Mapes, who does an excellent job, who's 8-0. So
you know him a little bit from his time at Central. Yeah.
So there you have that give and take where
Yeah.
you know, both coaches are vying for that 1 seed, and there's some discussion that goes back and forth on those things. Where you start getting really the back and forth is you get down to the middle of that bracket, and it's really difficult. Most of the time, you're not playing common opponents at this point yet. So trying to decide, like I said, who's an 8 seed and who's a 12 seed, that's difficult. You know, there's some big differences in there about who your opponent's going to be and your path playing out the week. So, but like I said, I think the coaches did a pretty good job of it this year.
Well, let's talk about the girls' bracket, and the top seed, Central Lady Rebels, will kick off the tournament day after Christmas, Thursday, starting at 10 a.m. They'll take on the 8 seed, South Iron. Festus, the 4 seed, will follow against Arcadia Valley, the 5 seed. We got the Tigers doing battle head-to-head there at 11:30. Then at 1 o'clock, the 2-7. You mentioned Potosi, the Lady Cards out of Steelville. And then 3-6. This is going to be another great first-round game, too, with Fredericktown and St. Genevieve. And then the semis for the bracket take place Saturday. Saturday is my favorite day of the tournament. And then, of course, championship game on Tuesday night. You mentioned Potosi and Central, the 2 favorites, I guess you could say, in the bracket. But I think a lot of people are excited to see Fredericktown, Festus, St. Genevieve, and AV, too.
Absolutely. Those top, and no disrespect to the people outside of this, but
Sure.
those top 6 seeds, 5 seeds are all pretty good.
Yeah.
And any given night, depending on how the ball falls, could win the thing. Fredericktown being the 3 seed there, has just got back PJ Reitzel, one of the best players in the area. She's getting more comfortable, you can tell, watching games and getting more explosive. When you have someone like that on the floor, anything can happen on any given night. I have not got to see Festus yet this year. AV is good, has some young guard play. Coach Turnbow's daughter is a sophomore, I believe.
Oh, is she? Yeah, I guess so now. Wow.
And she is a pretty good point guard.
I
Along with some
bet.
other girls there. They're trending in the right direction. They're just kind of building their way up. I think in the future they'll be up at the top of that thing. St. Genevieve has a good group of seniors that have been with them for a while. So it'll be interesting. Like you said, I think any given night in that tournament, you could have some weird things happen 1 through 6. I mean, it's if you don't come ready to play, that it's going to be tough on you.
So on the boys' side of things, you coaches said it was pretty cut and dry that Farmington's going to be getting the number 1 seed. But to the casual fan out there, do you think you raised a few eyebrows when, whoa, Farmington's ahead of South Iron?
Yes, South Iron's that perennial power.
Yeah.
They're always
Right, yeah.
there. And they have a couple of really, really good players. Farmington just has that group that has come through. They've been playing since they were freshmen, starting since they were sophomores. And they had some quality wins. You know, they beat a really good St. Mary's team. They beat a Cape Central team, which I'm not sure if that was before or after the tournament, or after the seed meeting. I believe
I think it
after the
was,
seed.
yeah.
But you come in undefeated and you have that. It was pretty cut and dry with Farmington being the one in the coach's eyes there. No disrespect at all. You know, Dusty Dinkins is a tremendous coach.
Oh,
at
yeah.
South Iron.
Track record speaks for itself.
It does. And they will they're not going to go into that thinking Farmington's the one. They're going to go in and be ready to play and see what happens. But yes, it'll be interesting on the boys' side as well.
Farmington, the top seed, they'll kick off coverage of the boys' bracket on Thursday afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock against the Hornets of Crystal City. The 8-9 game, I'm excited about this one, and usually that's one of your good ones. But we're going to get the county crazies together. We got West County, we got North County at 8-9. I think that's going to be a really good ball game.
I agree. West County back in the tournament. For
good to see Bull back in the field house, baby.
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt anybody, but my favorite, I have a lot of great memories from this tournament, but probably my favorite was when Chris LeBrier was playing at Central, and he was right over by the scorer's table, which is where we were set up doing our broadcast. He gets hit in the hand, and he dislocates his finger, and he didn't want to come out of the game. So he said, pull it out, pull it out. So right in front of everybody sitting there, so one of the coaches grabs his fingers and goes, boom. And we all went, ah. And he went right back in the game. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yes, he was tough. He was tough.
Yeah, but good matchup with West County, North County.
Yes, that 8-9 is always a fun game.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that's going to go this year. North County is another team that's got some young players playing well, and West County has some guys that have been there for a little bit that have taken some lumps as sophomores and got better as juniors and seniors. So I anticipate that being one of the better games first round, absolutely.
And then DeSoto and Hillsboro, little Jefferson County matchup there. This is where the DeSoto and Hillsboro fans are going to walk in there and go, we could have played this game at DeSoto. But it works out, and I love the mix the tournament has had historically with Jefferson County, with MAAA, and then, of course, you bring in South Iron, you bring in schools like Steelville, and to give it a little bit more of a regional thing. But very good Hillsboro team, very good Potosi team. Steelville, Fredericktown. That's an interesting matchup, too. You mentioned P.J. Reitzel for Fredericktown. Little brother, a freshman for the Black Cats, had a big Thanksgiving tournament. And that's one that, I'll be honest, I haven't seen Steelville since the Christmas tournament last year. But Fredericktown could maybe pull an upset there.
Yeah, they've got nothing to lose. I watched a little bit of the Thanksgiving tournament, and the Reitzel boy as a freshman is very good. Yeah. Very good. He shoots it well. And you know how that goes in that tournament. I've seen it time before. You have people that are coming in, and yesterday morning they were opening Christmas presents, and 24 hours later they're trying to play in a basketball game. Sometimes weirder things have happened.
Yeah.
Stillville, the only thing that I got to see just a little bit of them at the Rotary Shootout. They played West County, I believe, at the Rotary Shootout, if memory serves. And I think ended up going to overtime with West County. So they'll be a good team. They're always well coached. It'll be a fun matchup.
Yeah, you put together DeSoto against Hillsboro. When you're in that seating room, do you look for ways when possible to arrange for rivalries to play against each other, or did it just work out that way?
Just worked out that way, and something neat about that matchup too is it's got brothers pitted against each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Hardy boys from Farmington.
That's right. Yeah, DJ and
DJ is at Hillsboro now. He was at DeSoto.
Okay.
And then younger brother Brendan is now coaching at DeSoto.
Wow,
so.
that's great.
Bragging rights on the line.
Yeah. That's the first time since the Mills boys probably that you've had a brothers coaching in this tournament. Very
sitting
cool.
around Christmas dinner the night before and playing against each other the next one. So.
And then a couple more matchups again on Friday. I like the 7-10 as well. Robbie Coleman always has the Dragons in good shape. Jefferson, I don't know, did they still have a lot of height? I know a couple years ago they did. That should be a pretty good ball game, right?
Yes, Jefferson I have not got to see play this year other than on film. Our Central played them Thursday night after the seed meeting, and the Rebels played really, really well and actually won that game by high 20s, which kind of shocked me for the seeds of this thing. It could have been, a night off for Jefferson. They'll come back ready to play in that one. I'm not sure, but Jefferson has a new coach as well, Sean Breeze, who had been there for a long time. I don't know if you're familiar
Crystal
with
City,
Breeze.
yeah.
Yes, he was a Crystal City guy. he is now the AD at Grandview, so they have a new coach there at Jefferson. So maybe that takes a little getting used to as well. But they normally put a good product on the floor, yes, sir.
Yeah, and then, of course, South Iron, the 2 seed, taking on the Black Cats of Herculaneum. Quarterfinals, are Saturday. Semifinals on Monday, and then championship game on Tuesday night. Talk about the effort that comes in from the staff at Central in order to put this event together.
It is amazing. I could not do it without the people that I have there. From the administrative point of view, Mr. Johnson and Mr. Barton, principal and assistant principal, will be there to help administrate the games, tournaments. Hopefully we never have to throw anybody out or anything like that.
But it happens sometimes.
They're there for that front.
Things get a little exciting.
Things get a little exciting. I have 2 of the best janitorial custodial guys that a man could ever ask for, Art Aguayo and Del Wellahan, who work tirelessly that week.
They'll be there long after the game's in, won't they?
Actually, they do it in the morning, and it would be you would be shocked at what they do in the morning when they show up at 6 a.m. over there at that field house. It's amazing what it looks like to where it is at that 10 o'clock game. They do an excellent job that week. Couldn't do it without them. I have several gate workers that some of them will be there for a lot of the games that week, and that's a long week, especially over your Christmas break.
Yeah.
Someone near and dear to my heart is the secretary in the main office. Her name's Kathy Escher. She gets the money boxes ready for us every morning and does all that. I mean, there's just so many moving pieces. Susan Husky is the hospitality room lady. She does a tremendous job, and
that's my favorite part.
Yes. You're talking about I bet she probably put 60, 70 hours in.
Oh yeah, easily.
But it is a lot of people's favorite part. She'll see a lot of people that week. But without all those guys, and I'm sure I missed a couple, and I apologize for that, but it just would be impossible to run this tournament. It's so nice knowing that I can just show up and those things are taken care of.
And then there's the TJ Foulon Fieldhouse itself. To me, it's the perfect combination of Hoosiers meets a college-like atmosphere.
I'm biased, but I think it's the best high school gym around.
Oh, yeah.
There's something about, especially on Christmas tournament nights when that place is full, running out of that tunnel and just looking around and seeing standing room only. And, boy, it's just an awesome atmosphere. Again, biased, but that's for me. That's what that is.
How much is admission to get into the tournament this year?
You can buy a week-long ticket at the beginning of the week, and basically what that'll do is save you a day's worth of admission. So if you're an adult, it's $20, but that gets you in every day. If you're a child or senior citizen, I shouldn't say a child, I'm sorry, a student or senior citizen, that'll get you in for $12 for the week. Kids that are 6 and under, we typically don't charge. Or if you show up just every day, it's $5 for adults, $3 for students and senior citizens.
And if you can't make it in person, you've got a great setup for folks to watch online.
Absolutely. We have live stream. It's done through Misha TV. So if you don't know how that's spelled, that's MSHSAA.TV. Once you're there, you can search Central. Once our Christmas tournament gets going, whenever you go to a game, it will not show the game. It'll have you log in. So you'll have to get a login, and then you can purchase access for that game for $5, or you can do the entire day for $20, or you can do the entire week for $80. $80 gets you all 37 games. Something that we're trying this year, I'm hoping it'll be successful, is whenever you do that live stream, it doesn't have color commentary. So we've gone out and got a couple blasts from the past. A couple of household names from the recent. And I really enjoyed listening to them back whenever I was listening to games. But we have Greg Allen and Mike Reeves that are going to do the girls and boys semifinals, the girls and boys third place game, and the girls and boys championship for us. We're just trying it out this year. I will see how it goes. I mean, those guys are going to do awesome.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I say see how it goes, I mean, from our point of view, we're trying some new things, and I'm excited for it. I think they're excited for it too. looking forward to those guys. They do an excellent job.
Something else that I think we need to mention is basketball fans are going to love this tournament. Coaches are going to love it, moms, dads. But the business community around Park Hills should love this too, because people are coming in from all over. You buy one of those all-day tickets, you can watch a little basketball, maybe go out to one of the restaurants, eat, do a little shopping, come back, watch some more. It's great for the economy.
Yes. Yep. And I'd like to thank a lot of the businesses in our area too. They have done some ad work with us to bring in Greg Allen and Mike Reeves on that live stream. That was a guy that I left out a while ago that I absolutely can't. Matt Burgess is the tech guy at Central.
Yeah. He
And
does a great job.
He has the live stream up and running and has also added some ad placement from local communities or local businesses, excuse me. But the nice thing about that is now we've raised a little more money. We can amp that up a bit. And he put in a ton of time and effort. He actually did our program as well, which is something that a lot of people enjoy, is they get that program every year and take it home, or somebody fill it out. Matt did all of that this year. And inside of there, you also have ads, which is, I appreciate all the businesses that were willing to donate and do that for us this year. It makes that possible.
What year is this?
This is the 69th
Wow.
Bob Seacrest Jr. Christmas tournament.
Wow. Very, very cool. I know we're too late for businesses to get in for this one, but if they want to advertise in the 70th, or if they want to advertise on that nice video board there in the field house, who do they contact?
The video board is done by Kylie Mitchell, but you can still contact me, J. Petty at centralr3.org, or just call the school and follow the prompts. We'll get you in contact with her. She does the video board and does a tremendous job on it. Has the team pictures up there, welcoming teams whenever they come in. Has obviously our varsity players on there as well, which is pretty cool. For advertisement on the live stream and the program booklet, Matt Burgess, which would be M. Burgess, Burgess at centralr3.org, or again, you can contact me and we'll get you to that place.
Got to send a shout out to the Seacrest family.
Yes, absolutely. I graduated with Jill and am good buddies with her husband, Mr. Wagner, and also
Mr.
know
Wagner.
Mr. Wagner.
You gotta say Mr. Wagner.
He's always open, too.
And he's not afraid to shoot
He
it.
is not afraid to shoot it. Yeah, I love the Seacrest. Bryce graduated just before me in high school.
Right.
Great family.
He was always open, too.
He construed a little bit, yes.
Well, see, next year's number 70, are you thinking about something special? Because that's kind of a...
Yeah, that would be something neat. We haven't looked that far ahead.
Yeah.
Get through this
something.
year first,
Yes,
right?
Make it through this year first. Also on the Seacrest front, we have Brent Seacrest, who graduated from Central a couple of years ago. He's volunteer coaching for our boys team this year.
Really? Oh, that's
So
great. That's
he'll
great.
be on the bench for the tournament, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And, of course, Lance will be there, too. We can't leave Lance out.
Lance will be there. He'll be in that Colonel's Corner up there that we.
Oh, yeah.
That's his spot.
Yep. That's where all the good gossip is, too.
100%. Yes.
Coach, anything else we need to cover about the tournament or athletically at Central these days?
Something new that we are trying this year. We've had a booster parking lot in the past.
Oh.
We do not have that this year, but what we do have is a paid parking lot where you can, for $5 when you show up, you can park behind the field house. So, doing my best to explain that. If you went down High Street, where like you would normally do to go to the field house and keep going straight, almost like you're going to run into Flat River Creek, we'll have a parking lot attendant there, and for $5 you'll be able to park. They are limited, but you'll be able to park behind the field house there and have a real short walk. I know on some of those nights, it's a haul.
It is.
So people can do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is one of those where if you leave and come back, it's going to cost you another $5 just because we don't have any way of keeping track of people.
Yeah.
But also, if you're a handicapped patron and you'd like to show up that day, you can park back there for free if you have the handicap hang tag or license plate.
Okay.
And then any of our workers and officials park back there as well. But we still have about 40 or 50 spots available for people.
Then you can park in front of Roy Henson's house. I believe the price last year was $250. I think
that wouldn't shock me up there. That's not too bad a jaunt. I mean, it's
no,
it's a couple blocks walk, but it's not bad.
And he'll be there, routinely
Yes.
during the week as well. Again, what a great time. If you've never been, even if you don't like basketball, you will love the Central Christmas Tournament. Jon, thanks so much for joining us today,
Thank
man.
you guys for
Appreciate
having
it.
me. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Jon Petty, Athletic Director at Central High School, getting us ready for the 69th Annual Bob Sechrist Jr. Central Christmas Tournament. All right.
Are you guys recognizing any teams this year?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I didn't want to ask you that.
No.
'Cause sometimes they do that.
It's something that I would like to start looking into, both for our regular season and that.
Boozenbark Carpet, Boozenbark Trailer Sales, Highway 67 between Park Hills and Farmington. Some people call it the Fairgrounds exit. I call it the Boozenbark exit because that's where you get off the highway to go see the fine folks, Brock and everybody at Boozenbark. Been at it for such a long time, and there are so many long-tenured employees that work for Boozenbark.
And they sell everywhere. Oh my gosh, they are a great part of St. Francis County, but they have customers 100 miles plus in any direction.
Yeah, I know they do a lot in the Columbia area as well.
Yes. And don't forget about their trailers too. If
Yeah,
you're in the mood for a trailer. But you're getting the Boozenbark name, and they've been doing this for decades now. So you're dealing with one of the premier flooring companies in the area.
Two things I've never heard anybody say they regret doing. That's upgrading your flooring in your home or getting a trailer. I've never heard anybody say they regret either one of those purchases.
And they've got a lot to choose from. If selection is the name of the game with you, the Boozenbarks are the folks you need to go see.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from everybody at Boozenbark Carpet and Trailer Sales, Highway 67 between Park Hills and Farmington.
And look for our pictures on their billboard.
Let's talk Save-A-Lot of the Parkland. If you are putting together a Christmas dinner, Save-A-Lot is the best place to go. I know, Mark, about 95% of what I served for Thanksgiving came from Save-A-Lot. I had an amazing Oreo dirt cake that I made.
Oh.
I have to make two of them for Christmas because I made one on Thanksgiving. Half of it got eaten at one spot, the other half at the other. And I know that I can not only afford to get that Oreo dirt cake, but some other great items too, because I shop the dot at Save-A-Lot.
I tell you what, the thing I like about Save-A-Lot is it's one-stop shopping.
Mm-hmm.
You need produce, they've got it. You need milk, they've got it. You need meats, they've got it. You need dinner rolls, and trust me, you need dinner rolls if you're going to a Christmas party and you can't cook. They're going to say, oh, you can bring rolls. And they've got a ton of those at Save-A-Lot. Love the customer service at Save-A-Lot. Love the selection. Love the pricing.
Love the holiday custard from Prairie Farms. Only place I've found it locally is your local Save-A-Lot store. And boy, that makes some yummy Christmassy drinks.
Clint, you're a good man, and thank you for all you do in the community as well. And Chastity, it's great to work with you as well.
So when you're ready for your holiday meals, shop the dot. Shop Save-A-Lot of the Parkland in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. All right, we're here with Earth Mother from Earth Mother Health Foods. We have Mary Lee Visnovski. Merry Christmas to you. How are you, young lady?
I'm doing okay. I've had some dental work lately, and that kind of knocked me down a little bit, but I'm back up. You have to, but I'm kind of excited about Christmas like all kids get. I'm an old kid. But I've had something come to me because of this. We had a cedar tree, a little baby cedar, tried to start growing in one of our pots out in front of the store here. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it and I thought, well, you got a long ways to go. It was a little bit of a thing, And I got to thinking about it and I asked everybody, I said, are any cedar trees around here? And they said, no, I couldn't even tell you how close there is a cedar tree around here. So we talked that back and forth, and the little guy just kept growing in there. It was growing in there with an herb. The herb was pretty good size. And it kept growing along. Somebody said, you want to pull that out? No, leave that thing. I've just got some kind of plan here. So anyway, it kept growing and growing, and it's been several years. And finally, one of my employees, that's been with me a couple of years now, Christian, I kind of turned that over to him, looking after the herbs and stuff out there. And one day I came I was home and I came back past there, and I always look at all those plants, and I thought, oh, that herb was gone. And I said, Christian, I said, what happened there? And he said, well, that herb wasn't doing too good. The tree was starting to give it some competition. He said, I thought we'll just pull that out of there and let the tree see what it can do. So in the process, we created the volunteer cedar Christmas tree. And you'll see a picture of it somewhere on this because we've taken a picture of it. And it's really not that pretty, but then it's still it's a volunteer cedar Christmas tree. Not everyone chooses to come to your house and grow. And this one did. So I think that's pretty cool. God might be trying to tell us something, you know. But I love the smell of the cedar tree. And to me, Christmas always smells like a cedar tree. Out where I grew up in Jefferson County, on the southern tip of Jefferson County, we had tons of cedars up there, just all over the place. But when I moved down here to St. Genevieve County, we got pines, just lots and lots. But the pines are huge, just big, tall pine trees. My house never was big enough to be a tree, you know. But I could go ahead and read this. And, yeah. What does Christmas smell like? Well, to me, it smells like a cedar tree. Most folks would probably name some kind of food, ham or homemade pies or cakes. But to me, my earliest memories of Christmas is attached to the smell of a fresh-cut cedar tree. I grew up on what was called a hillside farm. It was not far from the Mississippi River, near a place called Danby. I've always been real proud of being close to the Mississippi River. I love it. My grandfather, a sharecropper, acquired land by homesteading land in the area called Big Hollow. That's where we lived, in Big Hollow. Big Hollow was located in a small community called Danby. Cedar trees grew plentiful in this area. They were all over the place. We were so blessed with the special fragrance that surrounded the cedar tree. I'm telling you, nothing could make an old farmhouse smell more like Christmas than a fresh-cut cedar. It was placed in our living room, and we had a big open stairway, and it was an old farmhouse. And this invited that wonderful cedar aroma to drift through the entire house. We had the cedar Christmas tree on one side of the room and a wood-burning warm morning stove. People remember, some of them will remember those old warm morning stoves on the other side of the room. Well, as far as the surroundings, it doesn't get much better than that, let me tell you. You got a wood stove on one side of the room, and you got a big old cedar tree on the other. It's pretty good. I lived in this house with my parents, grandparents, my baby sister, June Ann. She arrived when I was 7 years old after World War II was over. I was born before and she was born afterwards. My grandparents passed on. First, my grandpa. He passed away in his favorite rocking chair. My mom had taken my grandma to work had taken her to the doctor that day, and Grandpa was home by himself, but hadn't been sick. When we arrived home, we could hear the TV playing real, real loud. My dad, well, Pop, you're really getting kind of childish there, listening to Howdy Doody now. But when we walked in, my sister found him first. She ran out to tell us that Grandpa, she said, was sleeping real funny. He had his glasses way down on his nose. My mom got to him first to discover that he had passed on. It is a country thing for people to gather at your home. In the country, I don't think they do it so much in town, but the house just gets full that night. The word spreads, and there was all kinds of people come to the house. I recall we had a lot of people there. I was in my late teens. I recall there was a neighbor boy who was kind of sweet on me, and he came too. But he was kind of bashful. We didn't talk to each other. We just looked at each other. I thought that was funny. I remember that night. It was not long until my grandma also passed. She was in a lot of pain, and this is kind of interesting. They called the doctor. We had a phone by that time. Doctors would come to your home, even back then. It was in the middle of the night. Granny had not talked for several hours, but as soon as she heard that doctor there, she started talking a little bit. And she said real plain, "Doctor, don't give me anything to keep me here. I'm ready to go." Just a little while before the doctor arrived, she was having a conversation with her childhood best friend. Krill was her name, and we couldn't hear Krill, but she was like talking to somebody. And that was kind of interesting too. I guess she had decided she wanted to go finish that conversation with Krill. Was why she decided not to give her anything to keep her here. Shortly after the death of both grandparents, my dad decided to tear down that big old farmhouse and build us a new house. We had a big old oak tree. It was huge, just gigantic. People used to come and see it in the front yard. It wasn't in the front yard. It was over in the garden. And Daddy decided that we put the house over behind that. And so that's what they did. They built that new, it was like a ranch type house behind that big old cedar tree, or big, what did I just got through saying?
Oak tree.
Oak tree. Just kind of lost my place there. Okay. But the house always smelled like Christmas with those cedar trees. It was just so neat. When I purchased the building for Earth Mother Health Foods, I told myself I was going to plant a couple of cedar trees out here near that, because I've always been used to being around cedars. But, that was one of them things I never got done. We were always so busy planting all kinds of herbs and big planters and all that stuff in the front of the building and all the way around it that I never got around to planting that tree. But one day, to my surprise, I noticed this tiny little cedar tree had taken up residence in one of my planting pots outside. I thought it was right next to an herb, and I thought, well, the herb will squeeze it out, but it didn't. It just kept growing and growing. The herb kept kind of growing too, and pretty soon the herb just we gave it up because it was getting so scraggly looking, because the cedar was starting to take over. As soon as they pulled that herb out, then that thing just took over, and it got to the size it is kind of now. I had hired an employee at the store. His name is Christian. I think he might even like plants more than I do. I told him he could use his own judgment about caring for the herbs. And one day when I arrived at the store, I always would check on the plants to see how they were doing. I noticed the cedar tree was in the pot by itself, and he told me he had just decided to go ahead and let the cedar tree see what it would do. And I thought that was pretty neat. I'm telling you, the cedar tree started growing like crazy. You could almost watch it grow. It did. As soon as he got that herb out there, it just took off. It was just weird, like I was holding it back. I got to looking at it one day, and the thought occurred to me like a little flash of light. I got to thinking how I grew up with all those cedar Christmas trees. The first 40 years of my life. Then I moved to St. Genevieve County from those river hills where the cedars all grew so plentiful. And what grew there was pines. We just got tons of pines on our property out where my house is at. I never did want a pine tree for a Christmas tree, though. I always had to have a cedar tree. We'd always go find somebody. If we didn't have one, we'd find one. But usually there was one out there on our property that we could cut down, because we finally did a few years have artificial trees, but it was never like Christmas to me without the cedar tree. My employee Rachel blessed our poor little scraggly tree that we've got out there with decorations. She helped make it into a real cedar Christmas tree. God things. This tree that's what I call. That was one of the God things. I call lots of things that happened in my life God things. This tree will not be cut or taken into the house. It will continue to be allowed to grow. And maybe be allowed to bless us with yet another cedar Christmas tree. And maybe next year it'll even be a little bigger. Always remembering that Jesus is the reason for the season. You are welcome to stop by any time and see our little cedar Christmas tree.
That's great.
It's okay.
What are some other fond memories you have of Christmases, especially as a young girl? Anything come to mind?
Well, we would always. My mom was French and Indian, and we would always go to my grandma's in Crystal City, and we would all gather there. After we'd go to church first. Everybody went to church to different churches, and then we'd go there. And that was really fun. I can remember one time though when we went up there, and it was below zero.
Yeah.
It was one of those cold nights. And I can remember one time we left in a hurry from Lawrenceville after we moved down here. That's the church I have belonged to ever since 44 years, and St. Lawrence. And anyway, somehow or another we had 2 cars and we left one of the kids behind at the church. And when we got to Crystal and figured out we had to drive all the way back down to Lawrenceville to get this kid. You know, that was funny. And anyway, the next morning I made him go back to Mass with me so he'd get church in. And there was a neighbor across the road, and I had told him what happened. And, he knew what happened when I had to go back and get that kid. And anyway, he said, he leaned over, we were in church, and he had to whisper, and he said, "Well, I see you found your fallen angel." Leroy, and I can remember him saying that. Oh, that was so funny. But that's a good one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the movie Home Alone. I don't know if you ever seen that.
Yeah,
it was based off of that. Huh?
Yeah. But isn't that your fallen angel?
Yeah. What was a good Christmas present you remember getting as a child?
My best Christmas present I remember getting, about knocked the table down, was a bicycle. And I really wanted that bicycle. And then I can remember they had it right by the Christmas tree. And when I saw it, I just couldn't believe it, you know. But I was a skinny, really skinny, scrawny kind of kid. And I had a time trying to learn to ride that bicycle. And we had a girl that lived not too far. And she came over there and she was riding my bicycle. And I guess, that fired me up, and I got to where it wasn't long till I could ride that bicycle. But it's funny how kid-like. But that was probably one of my very best Christmas presents. But I had I had an aunt and uncle that lived in St. Louis. And actually they lived in Ladue, but not in those mansions. And they always made our Christmases so special because they brought that candy down from Mavraka's Candy.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember that? Yeah. I thought Mavraka's was like something like Hershey's all over the whole world, but it wasn't. It was just St. Louis. It was a St. Louis chocolate. It was awesome. We knew a lady that worked there, and she would always buy that and bring it to me and give it to me. But yeah, I can remember a lot of Christmases up there. I remember their address. It was 32 Mid Park Lane. And Y down 31325. Now, can you imagine that was a telephone number?
Right.
But she lived right off of Clayton Road. And 30 Mid Park Lane, and they had three different streets, and they lived on the middle street. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tell the circus is a day.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
You'll love it. So Uncle Jack would walk every night. He would walk and say his rosary, okay, and I walked with him. But I had to be quiet. That was kind of hard, but I had to be quiet. And we'd walk around, We'd get up as far as Clayton Road, and he'd say, "Kid, would you like to have a piece of Mavraka's chocolate?" Well, naturally, I was going to say yes. I said, "Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea." And okay, he said, "Well, we're right here by old Buddy O'Mare's place." He said, "We'll cut across there, and I'll see if I can't get me a short shot of whiskey, and you can get to it. You can get some Mavraka's candy."
Everybody wins.
And so we went over there, and Rose got out the candy, and I got my Ma Rocca's candy, and Uncle Jack got his short shot of whiskey, and we headed back Waverton, the next street. And he said, all right, now you got to be quiet again. I got to finish this rosary. And so anyway, that was how we, but isn't that a cute story?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, they didn't have, he never could have any kids, but yeah, they were dandy. Yeah, he was a line type operator for the Post Dispatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he did that, and then he was first there in Clayton. There was one, county leader.
Okay.
County leader. Now I can remember all that kind of stuff. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, and then but that's kind of because we spent a lot of Christmases and stuff with them. They always good to us. But anyway, what you got any other questions or?
I'm assuming you're closed Christmas Day.
We're closed Christmas Day.
Christmas Eve too, or?
I think we close about 3.
About 3
or
o'clock.
3.
Okay. And then New Year's Day, are you closed?
Yeah, we'll be closed New Year's Day, and then yeah.
But otherwise, Mother Health
we're
Food's
opening.
ready.
Yeah, and they need to. Yeah, and we've got a lot of things that you could use in here, And anyway, we're really blessed with good customers. We really are. I feel blessed. I feel humbled by how many people I've been able to help in 33 years. It actually brings tears to my eyes sometimes when I think how blessed I've been to be able to be somewhere where I can help people. Because there's nothing that makes you feel better than helping people,
Well, before we let you go, do you have a special message to all your customers this Christmas time?
Well, I'm wishing, just a while ago I had 2 of them in here, and one of them, I told him I'd pray for him because he was going to some doctor or something, and another one came out, I said, I'm going to hook you on with that other one, I'm just going to, so I even do that, I even give them prayers on their way out the door after that. But no, I treasure every person that comes into this store and seeks our products and seeks our help, and I can't tell you how much I love you, and you're all my best friends. So,
very good.
Yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas to
Merry
you
Christmas
and your
to
wonderful
you.
family and all your hard workers here at Earth Mother Health Foods and all the great time and they put in and all the knowledge
they do.
have.
Yeah, they do too, and they're so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
See, I don't think people realize how long these people have been with me. I mean, like Sonia's been here 25 years, and Melanie and Madeline have been here over 20 years, and then they just keep going down from that, so that's a lot of years,
A lot of experience.
A lot of experience. And then even some of the newer ones came in very knowledgeable. I mean, that was why they chose this place to work or would like to work, So they were kind of knew a lot of it before they got here, But anyway, no, I feel blessed, Okay?
Okay, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Music time on the Parkland podcast. We're talking music. We're talking albums. We both love music very, very much. And I know a lot of our viewers and listeners really like this segment as well because they let us know their opinions.
And they're going to let us know about their opinions with this one for sure. My song, I really wanted to go with Freebird from Leonard Skinner because I heard it on the way in and I just love the guitar chops on that song. But since it's for Christmas, I went with a song I heard for the very first time this past week, James Brown. A song called Santa Claus Go Straight to the Ghetto.
What?
It is awesome. let me read you a few of the lyrics here.
Okay, good, yes.
Santa Claus Go Straight to the Ghetto. Hitch up your reindeer. It wouldn't be a James Brown song without in there. But there's about 4 or 5 different references in that song. If you get a chance, listen to it. It's awesome. It's James Brown. It's Santa Claus. What more could you want?
Wow. What about for an album?
For an album, I picked out the wrong album.
Oh, no.
Actually, it's the right group, the wrong album. I thought I had the very first album from Toto, which had some really good songs like Rosanna and Hold the Line on it, and the Africa song.
Right.
This is Hydra, which wasn't nearly as successful. Still a really good album, and I love the album cover with the dude with the sword on it, if you can make that out from here. But the really neat thing about the group Toto, other than the fact that it's only one letter away from my last name, is these guys, before they formed, were regular studio musicians for a lot of different groups like Steely Dan, Seals and Crofts, Boz Scaggs, and even Sonny and Cher. So they were very successful before they got together, and they ended up selling over 40 million albums as a group with Toto. So I'll go with Toto, Hydra, but definitely get their debut album before you get this one because it's much better, and I just messed up.
Oh, that's okay. The kids love Africa. They're really big into that song.
Oh, it's a great song.
Yeah, and so that
Hold the
Toto's
Line.
really...
Oh, yeah.
Love isn't always on time. My song of the week is courtesy of the Beach Boys, and that is the Little Saint Nick. It is a song about Santa's sleigh, but it's got some extra stuff in the tank, right?
Well, that, and I think one of the interesting things about that song, other than it sounds like every other Beach Boys song ever made, is I think, and I don't remember the names, but one of the Beach Boys took his brother to court in the 1990s to get credit for being one of the writers of that song. So, Beach Boys, great music. A Little Deuce Coupe is what it reminds me of. Yeah. But the Beach Boys, they were not the all-American guys that you would think.
I know, right? They had such a clean-cut image.
History, yeah.
There was a really good, kind of like a docu-series that ABC did, probably 20 years ago, about the Beach Boys, and they focused on a lot of like the Manson stuff.
Yes.
All the psychedelics that were happening. And Little Saint Nick was obviously, like my album I'm going to talk about, the band that I have here. There was almost like two different time periods of the band. There was the kind of the straight-laced bubblegum, and then they got money and got fame, and things kind of went a little sideways at times.
Went a little crazy,
but Beach Boys, Little Saint Nick, holiday classic. How about the Beatles? This is 1962 through 1966 greatest hits album of the Beatles. You saved a Post-Dispatch article in there as well. But let's see.
Everything's good on this one.
Oh, I know. 4 sides. We go from Love Me Do, Please Please Me, from me to you, She Loves You, Yeah, 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 I Want to Hold Your Hand, All My Lovin', Can't Buy Me Love. And that's just side 1. And this goes all the way up to Yellow Submarine. And basically every hit song that you've enjoyed from the Beatles during that time period is on there.
Great album.
Very
if you don't want to mess around with just album cuts, although their album cuts were really good too.
Everything was good.
And they have another one from 66 to 70 or whenever they broke up that's really good as well.
Oh, I bet. You can never get enough Beatles, and they are just so good. All right, so next week, I wanted to take the whole week off. You have convinced me.
We cannot do that.
We cannot do that because there's going to be a lot of folks that have a little extra spare time. They need something to listen to.
But what we are going to do is take a look back at the first 6 months because, we owe a lot to the people that have been tuning in to the podcast. They're the ones, along with our advertisers, that have made it a big success. So we're going to look back at the last 6 months, talk about some of our favorite guests that have appeared. We've got pictures of just about all of them. We're going to spotlight them so you can take a look back and say, I know them, and we're just going to have a lot of fun reminiscing.
And you'll be able to tell the video quality gets a little better as we progress as well.
Yes.
We were a little blurry those first few episodes.
Yes, but we're also going to have our birthdays.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of news, maybe a little bit of sports because we'll want the results from the basketball tournament. So that's all going to be a part of it. But we're really just going to take a look back.
and talk about what we got for Christmas. Which, by the way, thank you very much for your Christmas gift. I was not expecting that.
He's going to Pasta House. Him and Kayla are going to Pasta House.
Yes, we're going to enjoy that. We haven't had a date night in a while. That is very, very cool. Merry Christmas to you, Mark.
Merry Christmas, Jay. It's been a lot of fun these past 6 months.
It sure has. So we'll have a best of next week, and then episode 30 will kick us off in January. We'll talk to State Senator Mike Henderson as well as some other guests, and we'll really start to work towards that big election, municipal election coming up in April.
Very good. Sounds like a plan.
All right, there we go. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year. Have a great week, and we'll see you for a best of next week.